Well, I suppose we should start with the first one here. Let's go with Avatar: The Way of the Water, man.
Oh, okay, thank God.
Right.
That was the one that me and Jackson already watched.
Avatar: The Way of Water. So yes, this is the just much anticipated sequel to the first Avatar, which came out in 1999.
Not true, but
it's been 30 fucking years since the last one.
I think it's been 15 actually.
I don't know.
I'm
pretty sure. What wasn't it like?
I think it was 2000.
It was like 2008 or something.
It was 2008, I believe. Let me double check here to make sure. Avatar. That's not how you spell it.
Either way, though, it came up prior to the Avatar: The Last Airbender film,
2009.
which caused just so many fucking ripples in time and space from that one.
That was not a good movie.
Just right up front for our before we dive into this movie, I just want to get a quick measure of the room. Your guys' opinion, better or worse than the first Avatar?
I thought it was what?
Yeah, definitely better, 100%.
Okay. I don't remember anything about the first one because I didn't watch it prior to watching the second one.
Oh yeah, Jackson never watched the first movie.
Yeah, that was years ago, so I have no fucking clue.
Okay,
I guess it was better.
I don't know. I personally thought it was worse.
That's so interesting. I'm with Nico. I think it was significantly better than the first one.
I think it's because I'm an action junkie. I thought the action involved in the first one was way better and more intense than it was in the second one.
The climax was like an hour-long fight scene in the second one.
Yeah, but it wasn't like intense. It was very slow-paced, in my opinion.
Okay.
In your opinion, for sure.
Actually, the first one's like 15 minutes.
I don't know, man. I have a very simple need and very short attention span.
So for this one, the reason I think better is first off, I think pretty much everything in the movie it does competently. There's nothing that stands out to me as being like, oh, dude, this is fucking garbage.
Yeah. The pacing?
No, actually, honestly, I think the pacing was fine.
Jackson honestly, I think the pacing of this one was very good. It was a 3-hour-long movie, but it only felt like an hour, if I'm being honest.
I thought the pacing was fine, too.
I thought it was fucking awful.
I even passed out for like 10 or 15 minutes during the film, and when I woke back up, nothing seemed to have changed, so I was okay.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I was about to say, normally in most contexts, when you say that, though, that's not a good thing.
Right. No, I think this movie did everything competently to great. I saw it in IMAX 3D, which actually looked fucking amazing. Obviously, they got great special effects. I thought the story was probably on par, maybe a tiny bit better than the first one. The themes, though, is what really puts it above for me, because in the first one, the main thing is, fucking colonialism bad.
I thought
Native
it protect
Americans, nature, fire, trees. And this one, it does have that stuff more or less, but it had a far more interesting theme.
You gotta protect your family.
No, more interesting than that.
Wow.
Where the humans are starting to become more like the Na'vi, obviously in a literal sense, where they're putting themselves in bodies of them, and the Na'vis are starting to become more like humans.
Yeah.
And they mostly do this through Sully and his wife, and how they're very much more militaristic than the Na'vi ever were. And also Spider is a big part of that, the human who's sided with the Na'vi, and I find that idea to be a very interesting dynamic that I'm actually interested to see them explore.
I personally didn't like Spider very much.
I fucking hated Spider. Fuck Spider.
His motivations seemed to flip-flop around everywhere. He didn't seem very consistent to me.
He's a teenager. He doesn't know what he wants.
He has hormones raging through his body. Of course not.
Fuck Spider.
Tanner just thought the person who acted as Spider was a bad actor.
When did I say that?
He seemed to like him.
I haven't said anything about Spider.
Did I say Tanner?
I think Spider... Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, his acting was garbage. Did you the fucking scene where they're burning people alive in the village and he's just sitting there like nothing's happening?
That's fair. That's fair enough.
Goofy ass motherfucker. I
like what he's like. To me, he's more of a plot device than a character, to be honest. But and I do kind of like the whole idea how he is torn between the two worlds, because he's well, at the end of the day, this guy is my fucking dad, even though he's awesome. He's not. So
Yeah,
Me and
I'm surprised he
Jackson-
doesn't have heterochromia. If it was an anime, he absolutely would.
Me and Jackson kind of agreed that was probably like the biggest dumbass decision in the entire movie. Is like the guy literally, I don't know. After everything he did, and after the whole time the son disagreeing with him, he's
out to murder everybody he knows and loves. He's going out of his way to kill like a father figure to him practically. And he's like, oh, you know what? I hung out with him for a couple of days. He did some horrible atrocities, but he's all right, you know. Fuck Spider.
I disagree. Honestly, I like that. The idea that family bonds are not something you can just throw away, regardless of like how objectively terrible another person might be. They're still your blood, you know, and it's hard to rip that apart.
I mean, that's true, but like even at the beginning of the movie, because there was like that one scene where he's like, "Oh, well, at least you guys know who your dad is," or like whatever. He said something along those lines. He was like, he knew who his dad was and what his dad did, and he hated him for that. So even before this surrogate dad, or whatever you want to call him, stepped into the picture, he already had a negative preconceived notion of him. And then him going and annihilating all these villages and tribes and everything and doing all the terrible stuff he's done didn't really help. And sure, he had like there were those bonding moments, you know, like teaching him how to capture the flying beasts. I don't remember what they're called. And, you know, like, teaching them the language and everything, and, you know, this, that, and the other thing. At the end of the day, like, it's still... I get that, like, family bonds is a hard thing to break, but, like, with negative preconceived notions, and then also the negative occurrences happening throughout the movie, of him witnessing what his dad is doing, the decision at the end to save him still didn't make any sense in my eyes, but that's just me.
What wasn't the part where the girl picks up she shoots the guy with the arrow and then picks him up, still attached to the arrow, and fires him at another guy? Wasn't that cool?
That was pretty good.
I think the action was pretty well done for most of it. I think that was one of the better parts of the movie for me.
My biggest complaint is I don't find the action scenes interesting.
Oh my god.
Because the Na'vi never miss. There is not a single instance in this movie of a Na'vi engaging in an attack and failing. Every spear they throw, every arrow they fire, they are kill shots 100% of the time, and it makes for a not very engaging action scene, in my opinion.
They're just that good, man.
I was gonna say
they're just that good.
The only defense I have to that is like that's just what they live and do for their life. Is like they just hunt everything, or they have to survive. So it's like they have to be good with the bow and arrow or spear, or they die. It's not in any different situation.
But kind of to the same logic, these humans are soldiers, and that's their whole fucking deal.
I'm not saying it's justified, the fact that they never miss. I'm just trying to like offer logic to why that may have been the case. Because I don't know. I guess my brain skipped over that part, but my brain also skips over the small details most of the time. So
I just thought watching them fuck shit up was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, they were
badass.
Jackson, I know you had a little bit of a grievance toward the end when they were all fighting.
Oh yeah, they had all the fucking water Na'vi were helping them there at the start, and then like halfway through the fight, they all just disappear, and it's just like the main cast for some reason. Like, where'd they all go? They're like, okay, we did our job, peace. Like, they didn't fucking say anything. No, they just all vanished from the fight, and it was just the main cast.
Didn't the one girl that was like crushing on the brothers stick around for the end?
So that was my logic.
Maybe not.
When I tried like logicking it out with Jackson, I was like, oh well, maybe they just got their daughter and peaced out. And then Jackson was like, no, remember she was still there by the end of the movie. I was like, oh shit, you're right. Where did all of the village people go?
They abandoned them. They did
even
their
the
job.
big whale thing.
They saw the ship went down there. They just
all right,
washed their hands. So they're like, we're done here, guys. We did it.
That was super goofy.
Yeah. One thing I also hate, because this is like over video games and movies in general, is when you introduce a new character at the beginning of a movie and then you kill them off in the same movie. I really hate that. That annoys me a lot, especially when it seems like that character either A, has importance, or like is like kind of has main character energy, and like that character also goes through a lot of character development. But
you just hate it when characters die in general. Though.
I do hate it when characters die in general, but it's like it's the older son, and it's just like he seemed like he was important, and they just killed him. So I was like,
Yeah, I'll go
Right.
for it. Finish.
I didn't really have much. I didn't have much more to go off of.
I was gonna say my biggest grievance with that kid dying is that it was basically a 1-to-1 trade of his life with spiders. What the fuck? I hate Spider. Anyways,
That's true. They go and save Spider, and then he fucking dies. I'm like, well, that sucks.
And then Jake at the end was like, "Oh yeah, son for a son," and they just fucking show him like
and then Spider fucking betrays them by saving
that was
the
the other
fucking
thing.
dude.
That's what else pissed Jackson off. Like they took him in as family, and he fucking saved his own dad. He's like, "What the hell is up with that shit?"
Yeah,
fair enough.
This kid fucking saves the guy's life that just was like complicit in the murder of this guy's son, who is practically their family. What the fuck is wrong with this kid? I hate him.
True.
I'm irrationally angry at this character.
To be completely fair, one thing I legitimately thought was gonna happen is they were gonna take Spider and like transfer him into the body of the dead son or something like that.
Jesus, why the fuck would they do that?
I don't know, to replace the. I don't know. That's how weird I thought it was gonna be. I don't know
What the
why.
hell?
I was like, that would be a fucked up thing to happen though.
That would
sure
be, that'd be
would.
horrible.
Thing to happen.
That'd be awful.
God.
Just saying.
Can't wait for them to do that in Avatar 4, though.
Yeah.
They literally confirmed, like, I heard on the radio, apparently...
Yeah, they're making up to 9. We've known this
well,
forever.
and, like, even James Cameron was like, yeah, I just need to make enough to have this movie pay for itself. And then he's like, yeah, so apparently this movie made enough to pay for itself. And, like, literally they shot parts of 3 and 4 at the same time they were shooting 2. So they're like, yeah, we made so much that it paid for this movie, and it also paid for us to start production of the 3rd and 4th movie as well. It's like, goddamn, they're moving hella fast now. So look forward to that, I guess.
We'll see.
we'll
So, how'd you guys feel about this movie's MacGuffin? The fucking whale brain serum that gives you immortality.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, Fountain
There's
of
so
Youth or some
little of
shit.
it they get.
For
I thought
how
it was
big whale brains are?
Yeah.
It was definitely an interesting
Also,
prospect.
how much did he said 150 million for that vial?
I think it
Yeah.
was more than that, but
I'm pretty sure it was 150 million, and I just gotta say doesn't sound like much.
I mean,
Like-
if you consider how many whales they can kill and capture in a day, though.
Didn't the guy like explicitly say? I mean, I guess he said quota, so maybe they are catching multiple in a day, but like, this doesn't seem sustainable at all.
No.
Like, unless you know, I guess lore-wise, you could say, Earth went through a massive deflationary spiral, and we're back at like 1950s level currency exchanges. Unless that happened, like the military endeavor we're seeing on this planet is like trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars.
Easy.
These whale brains are not gonna cut it, man.
I think it's more for. I think in this case it's probably more focused on the product itself. Like literally, I mean, I think valuing immortality, as they would call it, should be higher. But you know, I think trying to speculate an economy in a movie set in the future where we have no idea of what anything is probably a little hard to do.
Why does it need a value anyway? This is the military.
I
They're
mean,
a public service. We should just be able to send them out there and get it.
to be fair, the whale hunting wasn't actually part of the military. They were just like whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah, but the guy literally said, "Oh, this is what's paying for this whole operation."
I mean, I guess I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense. What did they give any logic for why they're just not interested in the last movie's MacGuffin?
Oh, unobtainium.
No.
Yeah,
I don't even remember what they needed unobtainium for. I just know it was a super rare metal alloy, but they didn't say what
I think
they
it's
needed
the
it
metal
for.
that makes the shit be able to float.
I think so. I think it had many properties that they could do anything with. But yeah, no, I guess it's just completely gone, or they don't need it anymore, or something. Or I don't know.
I feel like there was some line in there where they're like, we figured out how to not need it, or some shit.
I think they might have sidelined it and just because I'm sure like this planet's probably at this point like there's so many natural resources we could harvest, so I'm sure it's sidelined and this was like the focus for this movie because water.
Mm-hmm.
So,
How'd you guys like the casual Na'vi racism
That was pretty funny.
between the fish people
that
and
was
the forest
definitely
folk?
interesting. I don't get why. I mean, I kind of get it, but I don't see how it's necessary, especially considering this planet's culture.
Nah, I think that's more I think it's more accurate to what it would be like in real life.
I mean, very much so, but like I said, based on this planet's culture, it was kind of weird.
Indian tribes fucking hated each other.
Yeah. Which is weird because after the first movie, he literally banded together all the different tribes and everything across the planet to help them fight in the war
I don't think it
against
was
the
across
humans.
the planet.
No, they definitely recruited people from different tribes.
That doesn't mean it was across the planet.
They definitely didn't stay where they were. I don't know where they were on the planet. How are we supposed to know where they were from?
Anyways, we've been talking about this movie for like 20 minutes. Let's fucking rate it, why don't we?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, sure.
Nico, you paid attention the most, so you should go first.
Okay, let's see here. I thought it was pretty good overall. The plot was pretty good, although albeit like, a bit straightforward for my liking. However, the visuals were just fantastic. I didn't think that James Cameron could really up the game anymore after that first one, but boy, did he just blow everyone out of the water yet again.
Yeah.
So overall, I'd say that, I don't know, probably like I'd say like an A- for this film.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Actually, it's a little too high, B+.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Jackson, where are you rating it?
Oh god, I definitely was on the more negative side of this movie. I didn't talk about my issues with the pacing at all, but holy shit, I feel like they gave no breathing room for anything. Like, I mentioned this to Dylan after we had watched the movie, but I feel like this movie could have been 5 hours and they could have stretched it out even more and it would have been a better movie for that. Because shit was just happening so quickly, there were so many jump cuts and stuff like that. I hate fucking movies that do that. I'm not a fan of that style of directing at all. And that was a massive deterrent for me.
You would not like the first movie.
plus all of the fucking plot grievances I had mentioned and also not mentioned. There was plenty of other ones that I didn't have a huge fan of. But the fucking visuals were awesome. They had like a ton of portions of the movie that are literally dedicated just to like, ooh, it's pretty. Look at the prettiness, which I appreciate. So I think it's still an above average movie. I'm probably putting it like C+ to be honest.
Okay. Dylan, how about you?
I thought I molded over. I'm probably gonna actually give it A+. Probably is probably where I'm gonna give it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll think about it a little more. We're not gonna talk about it anymore, but I'm gonna think about it more.
All right, D+ or S+, Tanner? Which one you picking?
I'm picking A+.
There we go.
There we go.
So let me beep boop boop bop. 1, 5, 13, 21 divided by 4 is 5. Looks like we are landing right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're landing at A-.
Nice. I'll take it.
Avatar: The Way of Water, A-.